Okay, a few more things before I get started on the next stage in my build. Um, this is not really, a professional presentation or anything. There's my Cooler Master push-pull configuration. The reason that I did not opt for liquid cooling, see, Cooler Master, this tower, this is very big. If you don't have a big computer case, don't buy one of these tower coolers, tower air coolers. It won't fit. Okay, my case is huge. It'll take anything you can throw at it. It's a full-size tower case. Okay, over here, this EVGA. It's only 750 watts, but this Nebula or whatever it's called, Supernova. It's gold standard, and it's very, very good quality. 80 plus gold standard. And it'll serve all my needs. I know it'll give me all the power I need. And if I do later on want to opt for an auxiliary power supply, there are such things, by the way. I can do that. But I really have to say something here about temperature. The reason for all these fans, see a fan there and a fan there, and I just installed a little tiny fan. You can see it right there, in there. And there's another little tiny fan over in here. There's a little fan like it, a twin to it. That's because I'm using the Sabertooth Z87 motherboard. Haswell, I'm telling you, it's fast. It's an awesome motherboard. And if you're a gamer, I really recommend you get this kind of a motherboard. Not only just for gaming, but also for durability. I'm not a hardcore gamer. I've worked with gamers, I've assisted gamers, and I respect gamers because they really do know their components. I mean, I remember when I was working at Microsoft Gaming Zone as a systems operator, assisting gamers essentially online. I got into some conversations, and these sorts of people are from all walks of life, and all sorts of ages, and brilliant, insightful thinkers, and fun-loving people. Anyway, I didn't really want to make this presentation about gamers, but I myself, I dabbled a little in gaming. That's how I got the job working, but and it was all volunteer work, really. But I learned so much because the people at Microsoft would teach me, and I'd go to classroom instructions, MS Plus classroom community. I really miss the MS Plus community classroom instruction because you'd learn so much from these things. It was just awesome. And because I didn't know anything about computers, at the beginning when I first started just playing backgammon in a virtual world. But that's pretty much what my gaming went to. There's my RAM. I'm using the Kingston HyperX RAM. Very nice Genesis RAM. Okay. I actually have 6, but this particular motherboard only holds 4 DIMMs of RAM. So remember that. But it more than makes up for it in so many ways with the Haswell 4770K chip. It's really nice. You can overclock and it's a reasonable price. It's not like $1,000 chip or anything. Here's the thing I wanted to show you. You can see this little wire here, right there. Lift it up. See, there's a little tip on it. That's a sensor. Okay, and then the signal is sent from the sensor down, and I've got it kind of rigged through here to keep that wire elevated and over this cable, because ambient temperature is a very tricky thing. And I've been working on getting my ambient temperature in my case. Now, why ambient temperature? Because ambient temperature tells you exactly what the temperature of the air is through the whole case. All right? And so you got to place it somewhere in the middle, and it's got to be sort of not all the way to one side of the case or all the way to the other side of the case or towards where heat's coming off your drives. You want to get the overall ambient temperature, right? So that's why what I did is I used some electrical tape and just taped it on the cable there, and I'm going to see how that works. The position was nice, but it looked kind of horky the way I had it before, and it probably looks a little horky the way I have it now, but hey, if it works, it works. And I want to get an accurate ambient temperature reading. I have another one of those sensors behind the case, just under where the CPU goes at the back of the motherboard, and another one just coming right outside here, out of the back of the case, so that I have an idea of exactly what the temperature is like just behind my case. Okay, you can do that, and it will give you a sense of reading. So, in my flu-induced state, I will now proceed to explain a few more things about my motherboard. There's my alert alarm, lets you know if you're overheating or whatever's going on wrong in your computer, right? Sensor device there. It's just a little alarm. Okay, all these are 6 ports. They're two piece. Okay, the one with the blue cable here, that's my operating system, like my main operating system. I run off that one. And then I have the auxiliary operating system there. And these two are my physical hard drives. And these are just for data storage. And here, these are going to be my cache drives. I've got them plugged in, but I don't have any SSDs here and here for my hot swappable SSD drives yet. Okay, so I've said that. The thermal armor. I don't know if you can read that in there on the how it says thermal armor. This motherboard is just, I'm telling you, I'm just totally amazed by it. It's tough. It's solid. It won't flex when you're trying to work on it because it's got the back plane on it that just really reinforces it, and the back plane also acts as additional cooling, like a heat sink, taking the heat right off the whole of the motherboard. So a lot of thought really got put into this USB 3.0. And here's another thing, guys, who know your computer stuff. The Haswell motherboard, which the Sabertooth motherboard incorporates the Haswell chip. The Haswell 4770K Intel chip has native USB 3. Isn't that sweet? Native USB 3 right on the CPU. Okay, plus SATA 6.0. All right. Now I was going to show you something here. This is what I had in it, and these Sapphire graphics cards are just like, I mean, they rock. Okay, this is a low profile. You can see it's a little dusty. I'll have to clean that up a bit before I put it in my wife's motherboard. So you've got HDMI. You've got see right there, HDMI. You got DVI. You got it, and VGA. Okay, so that's the good thing about this. Take your pick. It's a nice. I've used it for a long time, and it's a good graphics card, Sapphire graphics card. Nice little low-profile graphics card, and it's going in. I'm giving it. My wife is inheriting it because she has a Sapphire in hers, but not quite the high model that one is. And her graphics card is going to my daughter. Now I'm inching my way over here to show you something else. This is so cool. It's got a side fan, right? And the side fan can be lifted to direct the flow either way where you want it to go. That's a great idea. Okay, this is what came in the mail, and half price, man. I got this thing half price. I'm almost embarrassed to say how much I paid for it, but because seriously, this is not something I would normally buy for myself. But yes, I broke down and got something good for myself, and I hope people aren't mad at me. And I just ordered another dozen dresses for my girls, so my girls have brand new dresses coming in. There's a whole bunch of dresses and shoes and clothes for my girls, and they're not. I'm not. I don't want people thinking I'm spending my girls' money. I'm not. Okay, I know what I'm doing, and I know how I'm doing it. And I'm doing everything legitimately and above board, and my children never suffer as a want of what I'm doing. I'd never let that happen. But I know, some people out there, what they think. And so I'm addressing that because I take care of my kids. And I love them. Okay. All right. And they eat good too, as their mother will attest to. And their mother is a wonderful cook. Here's the puppy. This is the baby. Like, you can't really see too much inside this static wrapper. But I'm going to show you a real graphics card. This is not a low-profile graphics card, okay? Now, there are better out there. I have to admit, there are better out there, and that's probably why this one went on sale half price. But because of that, I thought, okay, I'm going to snap this sucker up because I doubt that it's ever going to get much cheaper than this. They'll just discontinue it. And so I'm trying to open it as I talk to you in my flu-induced state of mind. Oh, you can just smell that brand new smell. There it is. It's an Asus graphics card. Okay. DirectCU. And there's the back. We got two of the HDMI if you want to use the double ports, VGA, DVH, and DVI-D. Okay. And then the other DVI ports. It does come with a little plug in the little box of accessories for VGA, but who would put VGA on a card like this? I mean, look at this. Who would put VGA on this? I mean, you know, it's like a gold ring in the snout of a pig. VGA on this. This is a very nice, high-end graphics card, and that's the next thing that I'll be doing. I'll be installing that in my case. So yeah, I'll just set the camera down and get to work and chat a bit. I've waited a long time for this. This is not, something that was a snap decision. This is something that was thought through very carefully and very conscientiously. Wow, special guards even on the terminals. It's just like, wow, I am just so impressed, no end, with this graphics card. Uses the power supply. It's very careful. It's got that radio cooling. But now I just want to say, this is a graphics card that a gamer would use. Okay, I am not a gamer, but I like high performance. Well, I like anything to perform well. I like high performance stereo audiophonic equipment. I like that. I have a knack for that kind of stuff. I like quality components, and I mean, who doesn't? But I like to do the research and learn what they are. And I just want to thank my gamer friends out there for their advice. I don't think I ever even said what this particular model is, this particular card. I can find it. It's the Asus HD 7850 DirectCU. Okay, just in case you're wondering what it is that I'm putting in this. Now I know a lot of people might say, well, Ed, why are you building this thing if you're not even a gamer? Why are you building stuff like this? Well, okay, I'll explain. I was spoiled when I bought my first computer. Okay, in the computer world during the time, it was considered, one of the high-end computers of the day. And the next computer that I purchased was a Dell. And so I learned the difference between a nice quality Sony computer and owning a Dell computer. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some good Dells out there. Okay, but I didn't get a good one. Okay, at all. In fact, it's dead. It died. But the next Dell computer I purchased was a pretty good computer. It was the Dell XPS, Studio XPS. But the first computer that I ever purchased was also a Studio, RX-70 Studio. And I like Studio computers, right? And Studio computers have high-end graphics, okay? They have very good graphics because basically you use it for video and family videos, stuff like that, and they're very good for that sort of thing. So yeah, now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this particular card in the second express slot because it does have these fans, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to need some air to draw, and yeah, it's going to need some room of its own. This thing is huge. This thing is a huge card, and I have to go very, very gently here. This is a huge. I remember reading, don't buy this card if you're not putting it in a huge case. Make sure you've got room for this card because it's big. And I just chuckled to myself because I know this case can handle anything you throw at it. By the way, the case here is a Thermaltake Level 10 GT. It's probably about the price of well, let's just say two regular tower cases. But I like the layout, I like the design, and I like quality. What can I say? It's too bad about that little tiny crack in the plastic that's in the inside, but I saw it, and I know that came from the factory. But I'm going to let it go. But I probably won't be buying very many more products from Newegg.ca anymore. No, I don't think so. I'm not paying RMA fees, for their selling this. No, I'm not going to do that. If other people want to do that, that's fine. But to me, that's insult to injury. You don't do that to a customer. Okay, so now I'm trying to work out how I'm going to lay these in, and it's very, 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 very tricky because it only goes in one very precise sort of way, and it's giving me a hard time. It's like it wants to go in the wrong slot. So I'll just have to remove all of these. Seems, yeah. I'll get it in. Oh yeah, I'll get it in alright. But boy, this is a huge, monstrous graphics card. I can see why they warned about a bunch of stuff on this. Monstrous is the word. It's the only way I can describe it. Come on now. Yeah. I can see the slot that it goes in, right? And I don't want to force anything. So I'm being extra special careful with it because it's an extra expensive item. The slots line up, but there, it's clicked in. It's clicked into place. It has some really interesting wiring. I'm just I guess what I'm trying to do is make sure that, you know, there's no obstacles, nothing. Wow. Okay. One thing I noticed about this is it actually covers over the two cache ports for my cards. Good thing that I plug my wires into the cache ports that I showed earlier, because otherwise I'd have to take out the graphics card just to plug in the cache ports for my SSD cards when I do my SSD caching, which I haven't got set up yet. But you know, one thing at a time. Everything takes time, and everything happens in its own time. Okay, so it's clipped in. This particular graphics card also uses a plug, six-prong plug here that I'm going to have to be putting in here. It needs power, but it's not a low-profile graphics card. Some might say it's a mid-profile graphics card because some people like to spend, you know, thousands of dollars on one graphics card. I'm not one of those people. I don't have that kind of money. And you know, for my purposes, this is going to be more than ample. I just want something that functions well. You may have noticed that I'm using a lot of ASUS products, and you might even wonder, well, why did he ever buy an EVGA power supply when, you know, that's not even EVGA's specialty. I know some of you gamers out there know all this stuff, but it's because of the reviews and because of I mean, I gotta hand it, you know, to EVGA. I mean, they're trying something new. You know, everybody and their dog is making power supplies these days. Why not let EVGA have a go at it? And you know, they seem to have done such a good job that I'm beginning to wonder if maybe they shouldn't specialize in it, because really, not. I'll be honest, I'm not really impressed with their other products, but the power supply seems pretty good. Gold standard. What I read about it, it's supposed to be like just knock 'em dead, and I'll tell you, it sure has been serving me well. No problems with it at all. So now I've got that installed. I'm going to have to get the power cable for it, and I'm not sure if I'll put this back plate in yet. Should I do that yet? See, what I'm trying to think is, I have a sound card. It's a Sound Blaster titanium, but I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I might just sell it cheap, because I don't know what to do with it. You know, like, here's the thing. This motherboard is so good that the sound quality, I cannot personally tell the difference of the sound quality of this. And you know, Realtek is usually not the best. You know, usually Realtek is real crap. But not on the new Haswell motherboards, not on the Intel CPU. No, I'm sorry, it's pretty good sound. I gotta tell you, you know, maybe the new titanium Sound Blaster is better, but yeah, I'm not so sure what to do with the card. I know I've compared, and I know my sound, and I'm telling you, it's really not much different. So yeah, I'm going Realtek for sound right now, and yeah, I think I'll pass on that right now. Yeah, pick up the camera, show you something. Right over here, see, I want to show you. See, this is it already installed. Okay, I have to put the power, connect the power right here. That's where the power goes. But this slot right here, that's where I'm going to be putting in a RAID controller, a RAID card. Okay, and I want it right up here where the fans are. Okay, and you know, more in the middle of the case, away from the hot power supply here. Okay, so yeah, that's why I put this card down here, the graphics card down here instead, because I'd really like to put the RAID card straight across the middle to where I'm going to have the RAID cage going in. Yeah, that's right, I'm going to run RAID too. Here's the big deal on this. This computer is going to serve, it's going to be a multi-purpose computer. Not just a gamer computer, not just a family server computer, not just a studio computer, but a multi-purpose computer, and it's going to do very well. If this goes according to plan, this is really going to be an awesome machine. You know, one of the things I learned in my whole computer experience is that you want to keep your options open. And I mean, you know, I love my gamer friends. You know, maybe they just say, well, then just get a computer for this and get a computer for that. You know, well, okay, you can do that too. But it's also nice to have it all in one. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to have it all together in one. So, considering the fact that I've been, like, for years now, let's see, my little girl's 6, so at least 5 years. And no, actually, even earlier, because I had a sub-server kind of deal going with my elder daughter. Yeah, I've been running like a family server for years now, and you know, when you start thinking about data and stuff like that, and you know, we've had a little bit of experience losing data. It's not a pleasant feeling, and so. Yeah, if you're going to run a family server, you want something dependable. You want dependable parts. You want something that is going to, you know, pardon the pun, but serve you well. And you know, I'll tell you, I bought a used ASUS motherboard, LGA 775 motherboard for my little girl. You know, nothing special. And that thing is still operating. That thing is still running today. That thing is just fine. And in fact, now my 4-year-old has it, and it's running Windows XP, and she just thinks she's the greatest. You know, so you know, there you go. What can I say? You know, ASUS really impressed me, and that's why I'm using ASUS. Anyway, I'm probably running out of time if I'm going to upload this at all, and I don't know if I am, but maybe I will. And if I do, I'd just like to give a few credits on this. Okay, you know, we got the Cooler Master push-pull configuration. I think I already went into all the reasons why I decided to go air cooling instead of liquid cooling. You guys like to experiment and have fun with liquid cooling, that's fine. You go right ahead and have fun, you know. Have fun changing out your liquid coolers every 3 to 6 months because they're leaking or giving you trouble, like some of the other people have. Okay, and there's my ASUS graphics card and my out of the ordinary EVGA. It's probably going to be the only EVGA product I ever put in any computer. And you know, maybe I don't think you can see in here. Okay, I got ASUS Blu-ray writer. And yeah, you can see I'm a real ASUS kind of HyperX sort of guy. I use HyperX SSDs and HyperX RAM, but Thermaltake, the very best. And I'd just like to thank all my gamer friends for all the good advice that they've given me, and the very sound techie advice. I'd like to also thank all my techie friends in Microsoft. They've helped me a great deal as well. And I'd like to thank a few of my white hat hacker friends out there. You know who you are. And also I'd like to give a special note of thanks to Andrew Charles Ewell. Andy, I just want to thank you for activating my interest in computer builds and inspiring me to build a computer. You taught an old man some new tricks. So God bless you, Andy Yule. Thank you for inspiring me to actually roll up my sleeves and build a computer. God bless you. And thank you for listening, people. So no further ado, I'll talk to you later and get this computer up.